Hello, my name is Matthew Tave, and this is my screencast for Operating Systems Project 1. So, first I'll go over the changes I made to the kernel. First of all, in syscall64.tbl, I added a line for each new system call as well as a number for that system call. Then in syscalls.h, I added a function signature for each system call, including the type and the number of arguments. And then in sys.c, I first added a global variable to keep track of the process log level, and then implemented each system call. So for get process log level, I check if the current process log level is valid, and if it's valid, I return that level. Otherwise, I return -1. It should never be invalid, but just in case I have that check. Then for set process log level, I first check if the user is a super user using some code that I borrowed and credited. And then I check if the provided new level is valid. If the user is both a super user and the new level is valid, then I change the current process log level to the new value and return the new value. Otherwise, I return -1. For send process log, I first check if the provided level for the message is valid. If it's not, then I return -1. Then I check if the level is greater than the process log level. If it's greater than the current process log level, then the message shouldn't be sent. But if it's still valid, then I would return that provided level instead of -1. And then if it's both lower than or equal to the process log level and a valid level, then the message is printed. In order to test this, I both used tests that were provided on Canvas and tests that I wrote myself. So first of all, I can get the current level using the Canvas provided program. I can try to set the level, but unless I'm a super user, it won't work. So if I try to set it to 5, it'll say it failed because I'm not the root user. If I do this with sudo, then it will successfully set the process log level. I can also send logs. For example, I can do, and I can send it at level 4, and I can say test 1. And I can check if the log was logged like this. You can see test 1 at the proc warning level. And I can try to do this at a higher level than the current log level. For example, if I just did it at 7 and did test 2, you can see that it says successful, but it won't show up in here. So you can see the previous test message, but not test 2. Then I also ran the library test and harness test functions or programs that were provided on Canvas. And these all run successfully and the output is as expected. And then I also wrote my own tests. So they're in this file, and they basically just test all of the library and harness functions with a set of valid and invalid values, as you can see here. So if I run this without super user, you can see that some tests fail because the set log level requires super user. But if I run this with sudo, then all the tests will succeed. So this is all the changes I made to the kernel and how I tested them for project 1 for operating systems.